Have you ever felt like you're constantly drained, emotionally exhausted, or even taken advantage of by certain people in your life? Setting boundaries isn't about being mean or shutting people out. It's about recognizing your own worth and taking control of your own well-being. So let's delve into 10 types of people for which setting boundaries isn't just crucial, it's a matter of survival. Ever felt like someone in your life constantly drains your emotional energy, leaving you feeling exhausted and depleted? That's the emotional leech. The emotional leech feeds off the empathy and compassion of others, relying on them for constant emotional support and validation. They may be quick to share their troubles, but rarely offer the same level of support in return. As a result, interactions with them often leave you feeling drained. By setting limits on the time and energy you're willing to invest in their problems, you can protect yourself from being overwhelmed by their constant neediness. Establishing boundaries with the emotional leech also encourages them to take responsibility for their own emotional well-being. Instead of relying on others to constantly prop them up, you prompt them to find healthier ways of coping with their emotions and seeking support. Ever encountered someone who seems to always play the victim, blaming others for their misfortunes and refusing to take responsibility for their own actions? That's the perpetual victim. The perpetual victim has a knack for painting themselves as helpless and powerless, using their victimhood as a shield against criticism or accountability. They may manipulate others into feeling sorry for them, using their perceived misfortunes as a way to elicit sympathy and attention. Setting boundaries with the perpetual victim is about recognizing when their victim mentality is dragging you down and learning to detach yourself from their drama. By refusing to enable their victimhood and holding them accountable for their actions, you can protect yourself from being sucked into their cycle of negativity. Ever had a friend who's only there for you when times are good, but disappears when you need them most? That's the fair weather friend. They may prioritize their own comfort and convenience over your needs, leaving you feeling abandoned or let down when you need them most. Setting boundaries with the fair weather friend is about recognizing when their friendship is one-sided and learning to invest your time and energy in relationships that are built on mutual trust and support. By refusing to rely on someone who only shows up when it's convenient for them, you can protect yourself from disappointment and cultivate healthier, more fulfilling connections. Have you ever shared your dreams or aspirations with someone only to have them dismiss or undermine your goals? That's the dream crusher. The dream crusher has a knack for deflating enthusiasm and extinguishing passion, often projecting their own fears and insecurities onto others. They may discourage you from pursuing your dreams out of a misguided sense of concern or a desire to maintain the status quo. Setting boundaries with the dream crusher is about recognizing when their negativity is eroding your motivation and learning to protect your dreams from their influence. Ever felt like someone in your life is always taking but never giving back? That's the serial taker. The serial taker has a sense of entitlement when it comes to others' resources, whether it's their time, money, or energy. They may exploit your generosity and kindness, always expecting you to be there to bail them out without ever considering your own needs or limitations. Setting boundaries with the serial taker is about recognizing when their demands become excessive and learning to say no without feeling guilty. Ever encountered someone who seems to view life as a constant competition, always comparing themselves to others and feeling threatened by their successes? That's the jealous competitor. The jealous competitor thrives on comparison and validation, often measuring their own worth against the achievements of others. They may harbor deep-seated insecurities or feelings of inadequacy, using jealousy as a defense mechanism to cope with their own fears of failure. Setting boundaries with the jealous competitor is about recognizing when their envy is undermining your confidence and learning to assert yourself in the face of their competitiveness. By refusing to engage in their game of comparison and setting clear boundaries around what behavior is acceptable, you can protect yourself from their toxic influence. We've all encountered that person who seems to dominate every conversation, turning every topic back to themselves and showing little interest in what others have to say. That's the self-centered talker. The self-centered talker thrives on attention and validation, often using conversations as a platform to showcase their own achievements or experiences. They may lack self-awareness or empathy, failing to recognize the impact of their behavior on those around them. Setting boundaries with the self-centered talker is about recognizing when their behavior is dominating the conversation and learning to assert yourself in order to ensure that others have a chance to participate. By politely redirecting the conversation, you can create space for everyone to share their thoughts and experiences. Ever been in a situation where someone constantly points the finger at others, refusing to take responsibility for their own mistakes or shortcomings? That's the blamer. The blamer thrives on deflecting responsibility, often using blame as a way to protect their own ego or avoid feelings of guilt or shame. They may lack self-awareness or accountability, preferring to point fingers rather than take a hard look at their own behavior or actions. Setting boundaries with the blamer is about recognizing when their behavior is crossing the line into scapegoating and learning to assert yourself in the face of their accusations. Imagine someone who constantly thrives on sharing rumors, secrets, and personal information about others, often without their consent. That's the gossip monger. The gossip monger can be found in various social circles, workplaces, and even families. They delight in spreading stories, whether true or embellished, and revel in the drama and intrigue that gossip creates. However, their behavior can have serious repercussions, damaging relationships, reputations, and trust. Setting boundaries with a gossip monger involves recognizing the harmful nature of gossip and establishing clear guidelines for what is acceptable conversation and refusing to engage in gossip or spread rumors. For example, if you find yourself in a conversation with a gossip monger, you might gently steer the discussion towards more positive or neutral topics. You could also assertively communicate your discomfort with gossiping and express your preference for discussing more meaningful or uplifting subjects. Imagine someone in your life who always maintains a relentlessly positive outlook, regardless of the circumstances, and dismisses any concerns or challenges you may have with a cheerful look on the bright side. That's the toxic optimist. Encounters with a toxic optimist can be invalidating and dismissive, as they minimize your experiences and emotions in their pursuit of positivity. Their refusal to acknowledge reality can prevent meaningful discussion or problem solving, as they gloss over genuine issues and concerns. Interacting with a toxic optimist can be frustrating and demoralizing, as they fail to provide the empathy and validation you need in difficult times. Setting boundaries with a toxic optimist is about establishing clear guidelines for communication and validation, while also encouraging them to develop a more balanced and empathetic outlook. In conclusion, recognizing toxic behaviors in relationships begins with identifying repetitive patterns and unequal support. Every relationship has its differences, but it's important to manage them properly. If these patterns keep causing problems and hurt feelings, it's a sign of toxicity. So, it's vital to address these issues early on with kindness and open communication to ensure both sides are happy and healthy. Now, reflecting on your experiences, which of these typologies has left the most destructive impact on your life? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit subscribe, join our community, and together, let's illuminate the world with the brilliance of understanding. Until next time, keep your radar on.